Have you ever felt like you couldn't think clearly anymore? Tasks that once seemed simple suddenly felt overwhelming. Your memory became unreliable, your concentration disappeared, and you found yourself constantly second-guessing your thoughts, decisions, and perceptions. For many people experiencing narcissistic manipulation, this mental fog can become one of the most confusing and distressing effects of the relationship. At first, it may seem like stress, exhaustion, or a personal weakness. Today, we will talk about the brain fog caused by narcissistic manipulation. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. 10. You struggle to think clearly. One of the most common effects of narcissistic manipulation is feeling like your mind no longer works the way it used to. Simple decisions become difficult. Conversations feel harder to follow. Tasks that once seemed easy suddenly require much more effort. Many survivors describe this experience as brain fog. They know something feels different, but they cannot always explain why. The constant stress and emotional confusion created by narcissistic manipulation can overwhelm the brain, making clear thinking much more difficult than it should be. 9. You begin questioning your own reality. Narcissists often use tactics that make people doubt their memories, perceptions, and experiences. They may deny things they clearly said, rewrite events, or insist that situations happen differently than you remember. Over time, this can create deep confusion. Instead of trusting your own observations, you begin questioning everything. The more often this happens, the harder it becomes to feel confident in your own understanding of reality. This constant uncertainty contributes significantly to the mental fog many survivors experience. 8. Your mind becomes focused on survival. The brain functions differently under chronic stress. When you are constantly dealing with criticism, manipulation, conflict, or unpredictability, your mind shifts into survival mode. Rather than focusing on creativity, learning, or long-term planning, it becomes focused on staying safe and avoiding problems. You spend more time anticipating emotional reactions than pursuing personal goals. This shift can make it feel as though your intelligence or abilities have disappeared, when in reality your brain is simply prioritizing survival over performance. 7. Decision-making becomes exhausting. Many people who experience narcissistic manipulation find themselves struggling with decisions. Even simple choices can feel overwhelming. This often happens because they have spent so much time having their opinions questioned, criticized, or dismissed. Over time, confidence in their own judgment decreases. Every decision becomes something to analyze repeatedly. Fear of making mistakes grows stronger. What once took minutes can suddenly take hours because self-trust has been replaced by uncertainty. 6. You constantly replay conversations. One reason brain fog becomes so severe is that mental energy is being consumed elsewhere. Survivors often spend enormous amounts of time replaying conversations, analyzing arguments, and trying to understand what really happened. They search for hidden meanings, look for mistakes they may have made, and attempt to make sense of contradictory behavior. This mental activity can become exhausting. The brain remains occupied with unresolved emotional questions, leaving less energy available for focus, concentration, and everyday tasks. 5. Chronic stress affects memory. Stress has a powerful effect on memory and cognitive function. When stress hormones remain elevated for long periods, concentration and recall can suffer. Many survivors become concerned because they start forgetting things more often. They lose track of conversations, misplace items, or struggle to remember information they would normally recall easily. These experiences can feel frightening, especially when combined with manipulation that already causes self-doubt. In many cases, the problem is not a lack of intelligence, but the effects of prolonged emotional stress on the brain. 4. You lose confidence in your thoughts. Healthy confidence allows people to trust their instincts and opinions. Narcissistic manipulation often attacks this confidence directly. Survivors may hear constant criticism, blame, or accusations that they are too sensitive, irrational, or incapable of understanding situations correctly. Over time, they stop trusting themselves. Every thought becomes questionable. Every feeling becomes something to second-guess. This lack of self-trust creates mental exhaustion because the brain never feels certain about anything. 3. Emotional exhaustion reduces mental performance. The brain requires energy to function effectively. Emotional exhaustion drains that energy. Constant arguments, unpredictable behavior, guilt, anxiety, and emotional tension can leave people feeling mentally depleted. When emotional resources are exhausted, concentration often suffers. Productivity decreases. Motivation disappears. Learning new information becomes harder. Many survivors interpret these struggles as personal failures, when they are actually symptoms of prolonged emotional overload. 2. The fog often lifts after distance is created. One of the most surprising experiences survivors report is how much clearer they begin thinking after creating distance from the narcissist. Whether through strong boundaries, reduced contact, or complete separation, many notice gradual improvements in focus and mental clarity. Conversations become easier to process. Decisions become simpler. Memory improves. The constant mental noise begins to fade. This improvement often serves as powerful evidence that the brain fog was connected to the unhealthy environment rather than a permanent personal problem. 1. Your brain is reacting to manipulation, not failing you. The most important thing to understand about brain fog caused by narcissistic manipulation is that it does not mean you are losing your mind. Many survivors become terrified because they no longer feel like themselves. They worry that they are becoming forgetful, incapable, or emotionally unstable. In reality, the brain is often responding exactly as it was designed to respond under prolonged stress and psychological pressure. Constant manipulation creates confusion. Constant criticism creates self-doubt. Constant unpredictability creates anxiety. When these experiences continue for months or years, the brain naturally shifts resources toward coping and survival. The result can be mental fatigue, difficulty concentrating, memory problems, indecision, and the overwhelming sense that something is wrong with you. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.